Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Izzet Machinegun versus Orzhov Control. Ooh, a Languish against two Alchemists. Well, he tapped one while he could. He's also used a Transgress the Mind and an Anguished Unmaking to get rid of another Alchemist and a Fevered Visions. So that's three alchemists gone already. So Machine Gun is kind of running out of, shall we say, guns? Now, the biggest problem that Machine Gun is going to have now is he's going to have to get his damage through most likely without creatures, because that's one of the Orzhov Control does very, very well, is can control creatures. Liliana. Rank 1 Storm Chaser Mage. He plays another one and attacks Liliana for 1. Now, Orzhov Control isn't very popular right now. Hold on one second. Just had to double check. Sitting at 6% of the decklist population right now, so not really that popular. But then again, there's a lot of decks that have dropped real far, real fast in the past, I'd say, month. Ooh. Okay, Ruinous Path to kill Storm Chaser. And then he plays another Liliana while the other one is already in play. Did he? Yes, he did use her ability. Oh, Incendiary Flow to kill off Liliana. Okay. So right now, Orzhov is running the gas. He's only got 2 cards. Throws out Oath of Liliana. Well, that gets rid of the Storm Chaser Mage. But now he's down to 1 card, and Izzet is at 5. Excuse me. And there's Fevered Visions. Now, at the moment, Fevered Visions is actually going to help Orzhov quite a bit. He's going from drawing 1 card to 2 cards. And it's very, very easy to stay at 3 or less cards when you're this low. So, draws a Gideon and plays him, makes the Knight token, you get a Zombie token at the end of turn, and then get to draw from Fevered Vision land, so his hand count is staying very low. Another Fevered Visions, that's actually quite a ballsy play considering your opponent's hand size is so low. You're kind of just handing him free cards with no drawback. But at the same time, he's also getting to draw cards. The problem is that he's not getting to do anything with them yet. Okay, manning up Gideon to go in for 5. He's attacking all in, so that's 9 damage. That is half of Izzet's life total. And Orzhov chooses not to play anything and takes 2 damage from one of the Fevered Visions. He's now up to 4 cards in hand. And Izzet has to have an answer to this board right now, or he's dead. Okay, Incendiary Flow to the face. Redirected to Gideon, which does nothing. And he had to pain for that. He pained for that mana, so now he's down to 8. Ah, I see. He was stacking his hand up so that he had a chance to discard, so that he could play Fire Emperor for its fitness cost. And down goes Gideon. So, saved himself there. Give himself 1 more turn guaranteed. Oh, and another Gideon. So that'll be another Knight token and another zombie token, and Orzhov throws out a Read the Bones. Now, this is getting a little bit dangerous here. He's down to 11. Oh, Izzet concedes. I was going to say, he's down to 11. He's going to take 4 damage and go down to 7. Theoretically, Izzet could have killed him with direct damage if he had drawn the right cards. But he conceded because, well, at that point, Orzhov was going to have 4 2/2s. He had Gideon, and there was just no way that he was going to be able to handle that board. I'm trying to think. Kozilek's return would have been very helpful, but I doubt that he's using it. Radiant Flames as well, but again, I highly doubt that's in his deck. But into game 2, turn 2 Thermo Alchemist from Izzet. Now, that's the thing about this matchup is Orzhov is a really bad matchup for Machine Gun. Orzhov's specialty is killing creatures, and, kind of the whole point of Izzet Machinegun is you're a machine gun who is a creature. And he has no way to protect himself. And unless you build your deck in a very specific way, you have no way to protect him either. And, by building your deck in a specific way, I'm talking counterspells, which theoretically you could run counterspells in a machine gun deck because, Thermo Alchemist doesn't care what the card does as long as it's an instant or sorcery. But at the same time, that would be a much slower deck than what you get, the normal Izzet Machinegun deck. So, and even then, as fast as Izzet Machinegun can be, most of the time it's not fast enough. So, Collective Defiance to the face. Grasp of Darkness to kill off Thermo Alchemist. And I have to say, it's not another Collective Defiance. Target player discards and then 3 damage to the opponent. He's discarding his hand. That is 3 Fiery Impulses into his graveyard. And that's the thing about it. There aren't a whole lot of creatures in an Orzhov control deck. As we saw in the last game, most of his creatures came from his planeswalkers. Now, it would have been kind of nice to have these Fiery Impulse, one of them at least on hand so that you could kill off the Knight token at least. But, damage doesn't matter to Gideon when he's in creature form, so Fiery Impulse is completely useless against him. So hopefully he drew some good cards with that Collective Defiance play. Otherwise, this is probably going to end very badly for him. Stormchaser Mage. Oh, I remembered something I was thinking about is, I was thinking maybe putting Hanwer Garrison into this deck wouldn't be a bad idea. Another Collective Defiance to the face. Redirected to Gideon. And then prowessed up Stormchaser to finish the job. But back to the Garrison. What do you think? Because I think that it would be a pretty decent addition. I mean, granted, you're going to be losing a few slots in your deck for, whatever you're playing, burn spells, draw a card, those kind of things. But Hanwer Garrison is the kind of creature that your opponent has to deal with as soon as possible, or it's just going to run him down like a wrecking ball. So, and then again, say for instance, second turn Thermo Alchemist, third turn Hanwer Garrison, they are going to prioritize the Garrison over the Thermo Alchemist. So, he could be a distraction at the very least. A little buffer to try and keep your machine guns up. Okay. Oh, the sanitarium. That's why he had to discard. He got rid of an anguished unmaking. And I have to admit, things are looking pretty good for Orzhov again. It is down to 2 cards in hand. Orzhov just played Ob Nixilis, drew a card. He's going to get a zombie token from Oath of Liliana. Any creature that Izzet plays is going to die because of Ob Nixilis. But, that's the problem for Orzhov Control. Not to Izzet Machinegun very much, and pretty much all of the other matchups that you have are very bad. It's why its popularity has dropped as far as it has. And Izzet concedes. Yeah, that's the thing about it. He did the best that he could to try and overcome this Orzhov Control deck. And it's just a very bad matchup for Izzet Machinegun. Orzhov Control is kind of his, supervillain, if you want to think of it that way. It is very difficult for Izzet Machinegun to fight a deck like Orzhov Control because they typically don't have counterspells, so they can't stop Orzhov from playing things, and Orzhov can kill anything that he plays. Up to including the fevered visions, thanks to things like Anguished Unmaking. So, even though Orzhov isn't that popular, it's a very good deck to use against Izzet Machinegun, as Izzet Machinegun is gaining popularity. Maybe Orzhov Control will also gain popularity since it is so good against it. But then again, we're still talking about trying to overcome Bant aggro, and honestly, I don't know that either of these decks is solid enough to do that on a regular basis. Well, I have talked your ear off for far too long. That was Izzet Machinegun versus Orzhov Control, and if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I will see you in the next video.